Well, Tania, thank you so much for being here with me on the Entrepreneurial Success Podcast. I'm really excited to have you here. We've got some great stuff we're going to talk about. In particular, we're going to talk a lot about digital marketing, which I think is one of those topics that people has a lot of questions about. But before we get started, why don't you just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so hi everyone. So I'm Tania Jackson. I'm the director of Ready Idea Digital Marketing Agency. We empower business to get that message out there and become more visible by mastering digital marketing technology and social media. But also I'm one of the lecturers for Birkbeck University. So I teach digital marketing for the master degree. I'm one of the mentors for University of Arts in London, and I'm one of the key trainers for Enterprise Club at the Fulham Hammersmith and Council. So it's quite a big name. And I'm a mother, and that's it really. So that's a bit of me, really.
Oh my goodness. Now, one thing that I am always intrigued about is how people got started in business, in particular, because obviously I talk to a lot of female entrepreneurs. Every one of us are so unique in what we're doing. We're wearing so many hats at so many different times in life as well. How did you get started creating your own business, and how has that journey kind of led you to where you are now?
Well, everything started. I used to work for South Africa Airways as a marketer there, and then I wasn't happy because I had my son, and I was feeling the mom guilt. Oh my God, I have to leave the house early because the office was very far, and then when I come back, it's almost time to put him to sleep. And I was not happy at all with that, logistic time and etc. And he was tiny; he was just like 7 months. And then I'm thinking, I have to do something for me. I have to do something that's gonna give me my time with my children. Well, that's my son, and then I can do whatever I want. Well, I had the expectation that have the business I would have more time. Actually, we find out I have less time, but at least I didn't want to go to physically to another space. I didn't want to go to be there, and I didn't want to feel that I was not in control of my life. So I started my business because of that. And initially, I was very much just offering marketing consultancy, a very basic, one-to-one, how to plan your marketing, how to look into your business. Of course, did have some points in terms of digital, but it was not digital. But in terms of in 2 years of the business being running, I started moving more into the digital side. So I started doing different courses, went to learn at university digital media management. I done then, imagining all softwares, branding, website development, and then the business started to evolve more into the digital, and then I became, a digital agency.
One of the things that I do like that you're saying, which I'd like the audience to take note on as well, what Tania is saying is she obviously went to take on courses, she went to study, and as she has evolved, her business has evolved as well. And I know I say this a lot, but when you sign up for entrepreneurship, for running a business, you actually sign up for a lot of self-development.
Oh, yes. And to be honest, I didn't know, I made loads of mistakes in the beginning, because I didn't know that I had to wear and need to know, so many skills. So, I have to be able to do the admin myself, the financial side, the business structure, the marketing, not only for clients, but do my own marketing, thinking about collaboration was a lot. And then I have a baby and then I have to juggle. So the beginning was very difficult. And then when the things are starting going well, then you start to worry about where is the money? I'm not making enough. Shall I go back to a big company that, I had a safe net and have the salary? But I was persistent and I was positive that's going to work, and did work in the end. But it took a while.
Yes. And I mean, now you said that you've been 10 years in the business, running your own business now, but you've got a team now behind you. You've got people helping you out. It's not just you doing everything anymore like it was in the beginning stages, but you've had that time where not you didn't just develop on your own, but your business developed, and so did you bring in more people to help you out. And now alongside you, they're developing in your business as well, which is really amazing to see that kind of change and how that has happened for you.
Well, and it's true. And I tell you, first time when I hired the first person, even a contractor, was very scary. Very scary because you never been, you know, let's say delegated, and it's your company, it's not anybody else's company. So it's completely different when you work in a big department in a corporation that, you know, something goes wrong, you know, it's not my company. It's very much you detach yourself from that perspective. So it was scary to contract someone, and also was scary to let it go sometimes, because you want to be full in control. You want to make sure that you're going to give the best for the clients, and was a very hard experience in the beginning. And then you adjust, and then you have to somehow, instead of just contracting, you might have, you know, a part-time person. Then it's a daily to daily someone beside you that you have to say it, do this, do that, and make sure the person's doing the job. But as well, I have to do my job. It was such a time consuming. Was a very strange process. But once it's done, once after a few months, you also have a friend beside you, because you know, you have the good relationship and people provide for your clients, and you are happy, you're in control of everything. And I think control actually is the word. You know, how can you control your expectation, and how can you control your client's expectation, and how can you have a very great relationship with that person that been working with you, and not be the horrible boss or the too nice boss, which I was in the beginning. I was too nice, and I learned a lot with that as well.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal. And I've seen some of the work you do as well. I mean, obviously looking at your website, and we've had some chats before. So I absolutely love what you're doing. And this kind of walks in hand with what we were going to talk about today, all about digital marketing. Now, I know for a lot of people, when we talk about digital marketing, they might even think, okay, well, what is it? I know marketing, but what is digital marketing, and how do you plan and how do you strategize that? So I'm just going to hand over to you. Why don't you just talk about it? And then for those of you listening, make some detailed notes, because Tania's got some great stuff that she's going to offer here for you today that you can take away and really work on yourself as well for your business. So Tania, why don't you just go to town, talk to us about it? I'm going to make some notes myself, because I would like to learn from you as well.
So Henriette, you know, there is loads and loads of different frameworks and process for digital marketing. And, you know, the Chartered Institute of Marketing use several ones, the international one. I personally really like the Sostac framework. It's one of the frameworks that I use. And now I'm also create my own framework. But I'm just gonna share here with you the system that I think is straightforward, is easy, and is easy to understand. If you are tiny micro business, a solopreneur, a mompreneur, or if you're a big business, you need to follow those stages, and those stages are very helpful to plan. So basically, the Sostac planning is a 6-step guidance, and everything starts here on the green side. Can you see situation analysis? So when we talk about situation analysis, we very much look into the business, if you have already a business, and thinking, who's your customers? Why the person is your customer? How? So you look on a definition of your customer. You look on your marketing trends. What's the marketing trends? You look on your internal capabilities. What's the skills you have that you can offer to your clients? What if you have already, you know, let's say you're no longer one person business, right? You have maybe 5 or 6 employees. Then you have to look, what's the internal capabilities of your employees, what they can benefit, not only your company, but your clients. So it's very much the situation analysis is an audit of a company. And let's put it that way. I always say to my clients, despite that I'm talking a lot about digital marketing and is important, you also need to look on the offline side. So you have to look, what's the best things that you have in terms of your website? Is the website is really working? What types of offers or call to actions do you have in the website? But in terms of you have a shop, a clinic, or let's say, something, a brick and mortar business, what's the trends that you can be using in these types of business? What sort of competitors do you have? So competitor analysis is very much part of this as well. And then you're going to notice you have an online competitor, and then you're going to have the offline competitor, which is completely different. And this needs to be very clear. Why? Because you can possibly be better than your online, but maybe you're not good enough as the offline. So you need to make sure that you have an entire list and you make notes to starting work on the plan. So the first phase is situation analysis. You go through every single things. And of course, everybody knows if you have a business, you have to do the SWOT analysis. I'm sure you know, which is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So every time that you go to the situation analysis, it's a lot. And people think, oh my God, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Why it's a lot? Because it's assessment to fully understand your business online and offline. And then you start to plan for the second thing, which is objectives. So you go for the next screen. And the next screen is objectives. What's objectives for the business? What do you want? You want to sell more online? Do you want to sell more offline? Do you have cut costs? Do you have contracts, employees? Do you want have more followers on a Facebook, have highest engagement in Instagram, have better connections on LinkedIn, or do you want a better conversion? So, you have to be very specific. What's your objectives and what's the KPIs, the key performance indicators? Because people can say, oh, I'm going to go very hypothetical, okay? I want 100 visitors on my website. And I think, but you want 100 visitors that engage in your website, asking questions, go through a call to actions, and then convert, and then do something with you. Otherwise, you have 100 visitors and nothing's going to happen. So what's the KPIs? Oh yeah, the KPIs would be one person came, but then she signed up for newsletter. That's one KPI. She came and she wrote in the form they want something else. So very specific. So make sure when you think about goals, go to the SMART goals as well. I'm sure SMART goal. Think about the time, think about the clever, think the actionable. All of that is very, very important. Then the third point is the strategy. What's the strategy that you're going to be doing if you know exactly what skills you have, what the market wanted, so what's the demand, you know exactly where you want to be, your objective. Now, how are you going to get there? So you're thinking about your positioning. Which position you're going to be? You're going to be a budget price, a lower price of the market, or you're going to be a high-end price of the market. So you need to know price. You need to know your financials very well in order to strategize. So you're going to think about segmentation. What sort of audience you're going to be thinking? It's very, very important. Then after doing that, segmentation, target market, position, then leading to, I'm going to use email marketing, or I'm going to use blogging, or I'm going to use social media. This is all part of the strategy. It's not niche or nailing the strategy, but putting all the strategy together, okay? Then we move to tactics. And tactics is very much decided which strategy you're going to do first. So you're thinking about the internal communication mix. You're talking about content plan. contact plan. And contact plan is who's your connections, who's your network, how can you penetrate in the market, if it's via LinkedIn, via email, via Instagram, DMs, etc., etc., etc. And then the actions, which is the next stage, is who's going to do what. If everything is done by you, then you have to figure out when you're going to do it. You have to very much put a set of times to do this. So, and the action is very important, because what I feel is people don't thinking about that. They think they're able to do everything, and then they realize they don't have enough time. And time and organization with planning is everything. So I always say to my clients, figure out, that, 2 hours of a day is 2 hours of your marketing. Who's going to do what, how are you going to do it. It's the first 2 hours in the morning, you're going to set aside to do your social media, your content plan, your collaboration, your network, and the rest of the day, spend the day of actually doing the work. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the next stage, which is the last stage, is control stage. Why control? It's no point to have all this beautiful plan if you don't know what's working and not working. Okay. So the control is looking back, all the strategy that you thought about it, all the tactics, which one is working. So let's say you had created a content plan for Facebook and it's been doing very well. You have good levels of engagement. People are reacting, people are converting, people are talking to you. Means that the time and resources that you put towards the Facebook are working, and then you're going to continue doing so and probably put more time into that. And if you compare with, that's hypothetical, the time that you put it towards LinkedIn or email marketing was not useful at all, was not converting, people was not emailing back, was not having higher levels of inquiry, that means you're going to spend less time there, or you're going to assess what you have done. Maybe you haven't done it the right way. Maybe you haven't used the correct word. Maybe you haven't, contacted the right people. So it's very important to look in the control. And one of the tools that I mentioned, if you're going to use digital and control, is Google Analytics. Why? Because Google Analytics is free, mm-hmm. completely free, and you can integrate with every single website, and you can check it when the person coming from, the user, we call it user. If the user came from, a social media, if you're coming from a newsletter, came from another website, if it's a male, female, age, which type of mobile they use, which browser. So you have a lot of information completely free through Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is going to give you a lot of information for the online aspect of the visitors of the website. And then another very good tool would be have an Excel with a list of your objectives, and then you can go back and say, oh, I didn't sold a couple of items, so this is working, or I didn't sold anything, or you know what I mean. So normally this type of thing, we sit with the clients and we look what's going to be the best control forward for that specific client.
I find it fascinating because as you were talking, actually, one of the things that I know a lot of my clients come to me with is like, well, I've tried this strategy and it doesn't work. So I'm trying this one and that one didn't work. And I tried this one. And then immediately I can just see it is one of those situations where they really go and they try and do everything at the same time. And they're not focused on one particular strategy, or two at the most even, at a time, in order to make a success of it. And I call it very much as well when people really grab those shiny objects constantly popping up. So they're trying something here, they're not seeing the immediate results. And then they go, oh, well, there's this other thing happening here. Let me quickly go and find out what this is about. They get pulled into that kind of strategy or that kind of platform. And before you know it, they are, trying something new again. So they've completely let go of something they started, trying a new strategy, a new platform. And then again, they don't get the results they want. So they let go and they move on. And it's this vicious circle that they're just doing over and over again. And that's why so many businesses fail. And that's why so many businesses don't really see the results they want. They get overwhelmed and then they give up. So I love how you putting the kind of framework together, because it shows that, number one, choose something that is right for you and run it over and over again, because you will get results.
Exactly. And I know there is a pressure right now to people say, oh, there is so many social media, there's so many channels. Guys, you one person, please choose one or two, concentrate in one and two, and do one and two very well. Don't try to do five, and you're not going to be able to do it, because having a business, we know that it's just not marketing, it's business, admin, financial, customer service. You have to do everything, and depends what you're doing. Let's say a catering, you have to really cook the food in order to deliver the food. So, varies a lot, but try to assess your time, try to assess your logistic, your organization, trying to do the bare minimum, but the bare minimum that you do in a very good way.
Exactly.
And then access it. Has been 4 weeks. Look back. This did work. Let's go back. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? There is a reason for it didn't work. Maybe you did it right. Maybe you didn't put enough time. Maybe you don't know how to do it. And one of the things that I say to my clients, we can do everything. We know to do a few things very well. So what I do is, if you don't know how to do everything, either you go and learn it, put yourself, do a course, or you pay someone, pay an expert, have 1 hour with an expert. An expert going to take you much further. It's just looking to myself now, how many years I've been running my business, the level, the knowledge that I have now, not in my area, the digital marketing, social marketing, all that. And also in terms of running the business, the side of the business, the admin, the financial. And look back when I started, oh my God, it's vast. And everyone's that started now, if they knew it, they could thinking, I don't want to waste my time. I just want to really do something quickly. Pay an expert for 1 hour or do a course. There is no other way. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of wasting time.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things that I also like is, apart from your framework, you started with the situation analysis, that kind of audit that you have to do. And I find this is one of those key elements as well that people don't take the time to do because they find it's boring. Why do I need to have a little audit? Why do I need to see if I need to pivot my business? That's the boring things. I just want to pivot. I just want to change. I just want to do something new now. But really going and doing a proper audit and just analyzing where your business is now at and what you need to do to change that. Oh my gosh, you're going to take strides forward if you just find out where you need to start.
And it's funny because, sometimes clients coming to me and say, look, everyone's doing a social media campaign. I want to do a social media campaign. And we say, okay, we need to do a little bit of research to come back to you with. We have packages, fine, but we always, before give anything, we really look what the client is about. So we look this, and sometimes I think you don't need a social media campaign. This is already doing well and stuff. Actually, you need to look on email marketing, or you need to look something else that you haven't looked at, or maybe the message that you come across is not right. So we have to look on a new message, or maybe the brand doesn't align with your message. And they're like, oh, really? I haven't thought about that, because what happens is sometimes they go to other expert that's just thinking about the money. They want A, the person supply A, and nothing works. And I rather very much fully understand the client, fully understand what's the message, what's the purpose, what's the objective, what you're trying to sell, what you try to give or serve or something, and then say, I think you're right, let's do it, or no, this is not quite right, let's put in the right place to, working better for you.
Yeah. And the other thing that I find fascinating as well with doing that kind of analysis, and I'm sure you can relate to this because you're working with your clients, is you also discover what the strengths are of your client. So when you find out what their strengths are, you immediately know what they can enhance on and what they don't like doing, what they don't, or what they shouldn't be concentrating on. As an example, I've had a client who came to me and is like, oh my gosh, I really need help with my Instagram. I really want to go out there and get this done, but I don't like Instagram. It's so much time consuming. You know, I don't have the time to spend on it, but I really want to try it out because everybody's on Instagram. So when I did a little bit of analysis with her and kind of run through a whole audit, we actually found out that a client's number one wasn't on Instagram. They were actually on Facebook. And she was already having a huge following, a huge engagement on Facebook. So she just had to keep on going. Maybe, you know, we tweaked the strategy, made it a bit better for her, but there was no need for her to incorporate Instagram because that was not really a strong hold for her. That was something that she wasn't really encouraged to do. She just wanted to do it because everybody was saying that she should do it. Oh. So that's why I really like the fact that you brought in situation analysis, doing that audit up front to find out what your objectives are in order to reach those objectives. What kind of strategy do you need, or strategies, not more, just, you know, keep it to a minimum so you can at least run that over and over again. And then the tactics, you know, what kind of strategy are you going to implement first? What is the first one that you need in order to work through? And then taking the actions. Oh my gosh. I've actually had a podcast interview with another girl where we talked about, you know, how much time you're spending on planning and how much time you're spending on action. But you've got to keep a balance between those two, not just plan, but also take the action.
Yeah. And also, if you just do the action and you don't have the plan for future analysis or to look back, what's going to happen? You're going to go crazy. Yeah. So it's very important to have the balance. And it's not easy, you know, it's not easy because, you know, you need to have someone accountable, or you have to have an employee to discuss those things. Otherwise, if you do everything yourself, you'll find it's too much. But having a plan seems easier on the long run.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's the other thing as well, is that when you start getting a framework together and when you start planning your strategy, those are not things that just are going to happen immediately. It's not like you're going to do it today and you're going to see the results tomorrow. It's an organic growth. It's an organic thing that you've got to go through. So using your framework, like you said, that takes time. And you've got to be open-minded that when you put a framework like that together and when you implement it in your business, it is going to take time to go through all the stages. One of the things that I quickly want to talk about as well is the tech tools that you spoke about, Google Analytics. And I love Google Analytics. I mean, I think for those of you listening and you have a website, but you don't have Google Analytics connected to it, oh my gosh, you have to do it. It gives you so many great results and just, you know, analysis, things that you can work with, figures that you can work with, so you can actually see where the traffic's coming from and what's happening on your website. And it's a free tool. And it's so easy just to connect. And it does take a little bit of time to get used to it. I mean, I still didn't even know all the functionalities about it, but I do know the main kind of functionalities of what works for me and my business. But if you really just go in and set yourself up with Google Analytics, it's free. And they've got some tutorials there showing you how to do it, how to set it up, how to use it. But it is so well worth it in order to just do a great audit and see what is happening. So you can obviously plan your objectives and plan out what your next strategies are. Do you have any tips of any other tools that people can use?
Yeah, another tool that is free as well, free to use and make your life amazing is the Facebook Pixel, and loads of people are not using. Basically, Facebook Pixel is a cookie that you download from Facebook and you put on your website. Once you have that on a website, you can track it, you know, exactly the visitor that's coming from Facebook to your website. You can track as well the sales. You can implement Facebook messengers. It's amazing. And some people, they have e-commerce and they don't have the Facebook Pixel. I don't get it. How can you not have the Facebook Pixel? And the good thing is, very much like a Google Analytics, you have the Facebook Insights. And with the Facebook insights, you can see how many people comes from your Facebook, if you have a high engagement level, which post was trending, which post was most sharing, you know, if the pixel associated, you can see it there. So guys, you must be using, because as you know, Facebook is still a very, very hot social channel. People are still buying, groups making a lot of money right now in terms of community. So you need to be there. You know, Instagram is still amazing. Instagram is amazing. LinkedIn is still amazing for business. But if you have that tool that's completely for free and you don't use for business, you're wasting money now.
Yeah. And the other thing is the great news about the Facebook pixel is obviously if you start going down the route of doing Facebook ads, oh my gosh, you need that pixel because you want to do a lot of tracking. And that works very hand in hand with the Google Analytics as well. So definitely make sure you've got a Facebook pixel connected to your website and Google Analytics connected. So you can obviously start getting analysis, getting some statistics together and finding out what the figures are and how you can obviously start planning accordingly with those kind of figures.
One of the things that I say to my clients as well when they come and we start discussing, you know, my clients, when we build the website, we're building everything, you know, optimized with SEO in mind and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But one of the things, the first thing that we integrate with the Facebook, with the website is not only the Google Analytics, but also the Google My Business. I don't know if you use it or if your clients use it, but guys, Google My Business put you on the map online. So every time you're searching something and you have a little map and you see dots, you know, there's restaurant here, hair salon here, you know, office here, office there, you can be there completely for free. And the good thing is Google My Business completely has changed. Now you can use it as a platform. You can put the list of your service. You can put the prices. You can post things daily like a Facebook. So the high levels of Google showing is much better because they say, oh, she's engaged inside of Google My Business. So you're starting ranking better than your competitor that pay Google ads. So Google My Business, it's amazing, has been amazing for my business, my clients, and also for my business personally. And one thing that I say to you, if you have a business, ask to write testimonial there. So you have, you know, high reviews, testimonials, also your ranking go better. And another tool which is free is Google Tag Master. Is free, is from Google, and you know that you can do a lot of tracking. This is a little bit more technical, and if you don't want to go in a technical way, fine, Google Analytics will do, but you can use those other ones as well. But I suggest you be part of the Google My Business for sure.
Oh my goodness. And that works very well in particular if you're if you've got a little shop somewhere and you're selling actual products, you know, through a brick and mortar business, because once you're on the map, people know where to find you, and it just helps so much better with your tracking and keeping you on top of the Google pages. So thank you so much. Gosh, that's a good one. I completely forgot about that as well. So thank you for noting that.
You mentioned the brick and mortar, but actually a few of my clients, which they don't have place, they are online. We did a test and work amazingly, because what happened is they show the office space, but that is not, coming, but you can buy online. So people still visit, people still in the area, and you still can buy online because you're in that particular area. So it's very good for geolocation. And if you want to really spread the word, where do you live? And I always say, start where do you live, your local community, and then spread out.
Tania, thank you so much. These pointers that you've given us today, I've just made a load of notes for myself as well. So I hope for those of you listening and watching this video, you've got some great notes to take away as well. And obviously think about digital marketing and how you can really just get your website, get your business out there, so you can just get more visible, so people can start coming to you for your services and products. Before we go, Tania, you've got an amazing freebie available for the audience. So why don't you tell them a little bit about the freebie and what they can get from it?
Basically, it's my first freebie for my possibly new website. It's 6 simple action boost your business online. So it's a very simple 6 actions that you can work within your business, your online business. And once you've done that, you're gonna see a massive visibility. So the 6 hacks that I'm gonna mention is branding, planning, storytelling, personalization, get social, and content creation. I'm gonna give you the link to you, so I'm sure you're gonna share with your audience. And guys, you can download. Feel free to contact me if you have any doubts. Feel free to contact me if you need consultancy or training. You know, I'm available on my website, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere, really.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So for those of you listening right now, below in my show notes, the link will be there so you can go and download this amazing freebie. I'm going to go and have a look as well myself because I love just learning new things. And Tania is brilliant in what she does. And like I said, if you haven't gotten any takeaways away from today, oh my gosh, you are missing out. By all means, go and download the freebie below in my show notes. And then Tania's website will also be there and all her other social media tags. So you can obviously go and follow her and stalk her a little bit, see what else she does. Tania, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and being here and sharing all of your knowledge and experience with us. And yeah, let's keep in touch. I'd love to see what else you're coming up with.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, for today. And let me know if you need anything.
Thank you so much. Take care.